time now, we have remained steadfast in our pursuit for justice, for torture that we suffered under the British government. With today's ruling, we are very happy that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
The British government has done all it could to avoid this trial. London fears it will set a legal precedent for other disputes against colonial administrations in Nigeria, Cyprus, or Mandate Palestine.
Egypt has a new government, something the people have been yearning for. The team of 15 ministers appointed by Prime Minister Issam Sarraf includes 12 people who served in the Mubarak administration. The United Nations will continue to deliver aid to people facing the bleak prospect of the starvation in Somalia, despite the refusal of Islamist militants to allow international aid workers into the regions they control. We have details in this roundup.
The United Nations will continue to bring aid to victims of the massive drought in Somalia, even though Islamic radicals refused on Friday to let international aid workers into regions they control. The World Food Programme is preparing an airlift in Mogadishu and says it will work wherever it can. Program Director Josette Shiram and Somali President Sheikh Sharif Ahmed had a meeting on the subject. More than 12 million people are currently endangered due to the drought in the Horn of Africa. Egypt has a new government, something the people had been waiting for. The team of Prime Minister Issam Sarraf includes 15 new ministers. 12 former ministers have kept their posts. This is a problem for many demonstrators who have taken over Tahrir Square in Cairo for the past 2 weeks. They were protesting again on Friday. The demonstrators are demanding that all those close to the Mubarak regime be forced to leave and that more reforms be instituted. The commission investigating human rights violations promised by President Alassane Ouattara in Côte d'Ivoire is taking shape. It is known as the Dialogue, Truth and Reconciliation Commission. To seek the truth and determine who is responsible for nationwide social and political events in the past and present. To listen to the victims and to record what those who carried out the crimes really did. To issue pardons. After being held in prison for 17 days in DR Congo, Agostinho Chicao has been released. Originally from the Cabinda enclave of Angola and a civil association activist, he had been arrested in Kinshasa. Lawyers and human rights activists criticized the arrest as an arbitrary one made by the Angolan government. Agostinho Chicao was suspected of being involved in the attack on the bus carrying football players from Togo in January 2010, an attack by the Flex separatist group.
Time now to take a second break. We'll be right back.
Liñu bëggoon liñu doon xaar fi mu ne nii liñu moom yegsi na.
léegi ak judd bu beesu Gambia National Petroleum bu ñëwee ci wàllum jaayum essence gas oil ak kérosine dañ day jaay tanki oto am nañ place boo xam ne bu sa tanki oto yaaxoo fu nu koy jagaree te am nañ bépp bagage oto am nañ place jagarukaay oto raxasukaay oto te am nañu place jaaykaay lekk ak naan yu sedd ak yu nu mel lépp ci biir GNPC ñun rekk nekk bunti jaaykaay essence ci réew mi buy jaay bépp bagage oto ci njëg bu yomb ñëwal gisal ko sa bopp ñëwal bànneexu ci sunu liggéey ak mbégte ñëwal ci xereñlu laabiru sunu réew
GNPC ñoo ko moom
Welcome back, and now we'll take a look at sports. One of the activities lined up for the 17th anniversary of the July 22nd Revolution is a wrestling contest organized by the Gambia Wrestling Association in conjunction with the Youth and Sports Ministry. Wrestlers from 3 countries in the sub-region will take part in the bouts. Ndaibuso reports.
Wrestling is one component of this year's July 22nd anniversary celebrations jointly organized by the Gambia Wrestling Association and the Ministry of Youth and Sport. The triangular tournament, which brings together 3 countries in the sub-region, namely Senegal, Nigeria and the Gambia, is staged to celebrate the 17th anniversary of the July 22nd Revolution. hosted at the Sarakunda East Mini Stadium on July 23rd and 24th. The first to arrive in Banjul is the Nigerian wrestlers who were met at the sandy beach warming up for the big competition. Sunday Appiah, Nigeria's team coach, who also doubles as a wrestler, said his team is determined to win the July 22nd trophy.
I believe every country that will participate in this tournament definitely wants to go home with the trophy. Well, being the host, it's good for the host to host and also win. But unfortunately, sport is not like that. So I hope the Gambian players also will get themselves ready, because we are here to give them a good fight. Also the Senegalese, we are here to give them the fight.
Current African champion, Delhi Commonwealth gold medalist and the 2009 world #1 traditional wrestler, said the July 22nd triangular is only going to add up his titles, for he believes there is no one in the continent to compete him.
And when you talk about traditional wrestling in Bayelsa State, everybody went from the youth in Bayelsa State. So I grew up in wrestling, and my life is wrestling. All what I need, all what I have, everything in my life is wrestling. So in Africa level, in the traditional wrestling, I just take it as a fun, because I know I'm not afraid of that.
Bakari Jaju is the captain for the Gambia. To him, hosting the sub-regional competition will boost their morale to grab the trophy, adding that the game is about the mind and not weight or height. Team coach Omar Jeng said his side is well respected by the participating teams as a result of the impressive performance in Dakar some weeks ago. Abdoulaye Bojang is vice president of the Gambia Wrestling Association. To him, organizing such a competition for the 17th anniversary of the July 22nd revolution is worth, arguing that the president is working hard to revive wrestling.
We all have to be fair to the president, because what he's doing to the country and what he's doing to the whole West Africa, you know, if you can revert back, you know, this man is definitely in for sport. You know, there was a time where there was a crisis in which country about the football, Ivory Coast. You see, all the neighboring country, you know, he fly them here.
The July 22nd championship is also expected to be graced by Senegalese Guigui and Basuka, amongst other prominent wrestlers. It could be recalled that a similar program was organized for football before the Gambia hosted the African Youth Championship in 2005, called the July 22nd Peace Tournament. Thus, Gambia ended up lifting her first ever continental glory. The Gambian wrestlers are now putting their fingers crossed, hoping that the successful hosting of the event will herald brighter prospects, like hosting the ECOWAS Wrestling Championship. For GRTS Sports, I am Debuso.
We'll now take a look at the headlines before we go. President Jammeh has reiterated his administration's uncompromising stance on corruption and drug abuse at the traditional parade marking the 17th anniversary of the July 22nd revolution. The health sector has received an X-ray machine worth 30,000 euros from AVS Frankfurt Oder, an organization based in Germany. Radical Islamists in Somalia deny international aid workers access to areas they control, but the UN says it will continue delivering aid to the starving population. And Egypt's caretaker prime minister forms a new government dominated by ministers who served in the Mubarak administration against the backdrop of calls for faster political reforms. That's all in the news. Thank you very much for your time. And once again, you can follow all our stories on www.grts.gm. You can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Thank you very much and have a good weekend.
On the 25th of May 1965 in Kanilai village, Fonyi Kansala district, West Coast region witnessed the birth of a Pan-Africanist. The current president of the Republic of the Gambia, Chief Professor Dr. Alhaji Yaya Jammeh. The president's date of birth coincides with African Liberation Day. President Yaya Jammeh received his early education at Kanilai Primary School, St. Edward's Primary School in Buyam, and Gambia High School in Banjul.